Hi everyone, this is Anita from St.Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Autonomous Cuddalore. So today, in this video, we are going to see about the topic autoimmune disease from the subject immunology. So what is autoimmune disease? There will be some kind of antigen that will be present in our own body. So those antigen are said to be autoantigen or self-antigen. So generally those antigen they do not elicit any immune response. So when this autoantigen is altered by a action of bacteria, virus, chemicals, drug etc., they elicit the production of an antibody in our own body. So such immune response creates some changes in our body. So this leads to the production of antibody. So those antibodies are said to be autoantibody. So that is the antibody produced by autoantigen are called autoantibody. This kind of immune response where antigen are formed against the self-antigen. So they are called as autoimmunity. So next we are going to see about autoimmunity. So what is autoimmunity? That is, it may be humoral or cell-mediated immune response against the constituents of body's own tissues. That is, the immune system recognizes on antigen of the own body as a non-self. So that leads to a response that leads to the production of response against our own body. So they are said to be autoimmunity. So next we are going to see about autoimmune diseases. So autoimmunity generally leads to the destruction of one's own tissues, causing diseases called as autoimmune diseases. It is defined as a group of disorder in which tissue injury is caused by immoral or cell-mediated immune response. So it was first discovered by the scientist namely Metcalfe in 1900 in guinea pigs. So in the next slide we are going to see about types of autoimmune disease. That is, first one is myasthenia gravis, second one is rheumatoid arthritis, third thyrotoxicosis, and fourth SLE. So first one is myasthenia gravis. So it is a prototype autoimmune disease mediated by blocking the antibodies. A patient with this disease produces autoantibodies to the acetylcholine receptors on the motor end plate of muscles. Binding of this autoantibody to the receptors blocks the normal binding of acetylcholine and also induces the complement mediated degradation of the receptors, resulting in progressive weakness of the skeletal muscles. Ultimately, the antibodies destroy the receptors. The early signs of this diseases include drooping eyelids, inability to retract the corners of the mouth, which gives the appearance of a snarling. So this is a slide which shows the myasthenia gravis. That is, in first image it shows the normal function of a neuromuscular junction, and in second image it shows the person who is suffering from the autoimmune disease. That is, in the first image, the normal mechanism is, this is an example for neuromuscular junction. That is, during neuromuscular junction, there will be rupturing of vesicles takes place when the action potential reaches the neuron. So what will happen is the rupturing of vesicles. So from the rupturing, there will be release of acetylcholine. So this acetylcholine, it comes and binds with the receptors present in the muscles. So once it binds, it forms acetylcholine chemoreceptor complex. So this is normal mechanism. But in case of autoimmune disease, that is in the second image, instead of binding of acetylcholine, autoantibodies will goes and binds to the receptor of the muscles. So this leads to the destruction of muscles. So this leads to the formation of diseases called as myasthenia gravis. So second example is Graves' disease or thyrotoxicosis. That is, the production of thyroid hormone is regulated by thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, which is produced by the pituitary gland. So binding of TSH to the receptor on thyroid cell activates the adenylyl cyclase and stimulates the synthesis of two thyroid hormones, namely thyroxine and triiodothyronine. A patient with this grave disease produces autoantibodies to the receptor for TSH. So binding of this autoantibodies to the receptor mimics the normal action of TSH and activate the adenylyl cyclase and resulting in the production of thyroid hormones. So this is a slide which shows the grave disease. That is, first image, that is normal mechanism. That is, from the pituitary gland, TSH will be released, which will comes and binds to the adenylyl cyclase, which activates the synthesis of thyroid hormones. So this is normal mechanism. So once the normal hormone is produced, again the production is regulated by the TSH. So this is normal mechanism. So second image is which shows the autoimmune disease. So here, instead of binding of TSH, autoantibodies will binds to the TSH receptors. So which leads to the stimulation of more amount of TSH hormone, and this leads to the increasing secretion of hormones. So it won't be regulated. So this leads to a disease is called as autoimmune disease, that is grave disease. Unlike TSH, however, autoantibodies are regulated and consequently they overstimulate the thyroid. For this reason, these autoantibodies are called long-lasting, long-acting thyroid stimulating antibodies. So next one is systemic autoimmune disease. In systemic autoimmune disease, the response is directed toward a broad range of target antigen and involves a number of organs and tissues. These tissues reflect a general defect in immune regulation that results in hyperactive T cell and B cell. So next one is systemic lupus erythematosus. It typically appears in women between 20 to 40 years of age. The ratio of female to male patient is 10:1. SLE is characterized by fever, weakness, arthritis, skin rashes, pleurisy, and kidney dysfunction. Lupus is more frequent in African, American, and Hispanic women than other Asians.